Hi, I'm Ryan Wolowski, and I'm in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. I'm going to talk with Will about the 44th elect president, Barack Obama. Hi, Will. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
Now, let's talk about how you were for the past 8 years. Tell me about your thoughts on the last president, George W. Bush.
My thoughts are that it always wasn't clear that he could admit he was wrong, and then there seemed to be areas where they were hiding things from us purposefully, and that was just troubling. And
what do you feel he was wrong about? And Will, what do you think was hidden from us? I mean, there's a long laundry list, but which ones are most important to you?
Decisions about going to war, I think he knew more than he said. I think decisions about habeas corpus and whether people have, even foreigners, have the right to, to a trial at some point. I think that's critical. I think if we remember the 2000 election, I blame the Supreme Court for not counting the votes. I think that's probably the lowest point of my entire life, realizing that I had believed I was an American my entire life, partly because we get to count every time that an election happens. We count. And we count. And they didn't count. I thought that was that was really disillusioning. Completely disillusioning. And at the same time, we often give advice to other countries about being democratic and what democracy means, and that is a fundamental aspect that I'd said it was extremely discouraging.
Are you happy with our new president-elect that we have, Will?
We don't know yet, but there is this moment that it could be. It feels very much like when I was younger, that it's possible, change is possible. I'm a little worried that somebody might come out of the fundamentalist ilk of the countryside and attempt assassination or something like that.
And let's, at this point, hope that does not happen.
Yes.
If anything, have him impeached if he's not doing a good job, not murdered. But you mentioned the war. Now, one of the things I want to talk about, this is the first time in a very long time that there'll be a presidential transition during a war. What are your expectations with Barack Obama taking the office as president during a war? Do you think it will end, or do you think we may go to war somewhere else?
I think it's very difficult for him because we went in for the wrong reasons. We went in because of various lies that people told, and people that believed that I worked in organizations where the leader of the organization creates a culture where the people want to give them certain kinds of information as opposed to telling them the truth. And so we could at least hope for truth-telling. He's already there, and there are lots of troops there, and it's made it worse than it was before we went in. So there's a big question about whether you should immediately withdraw. I think that they want to have some kind of governance of their own, but I don't know anything about this aspect of politics. I think we've wasted a lot of money with no-bid contracts over there. I'm going by news reporting and things like that. So what will he do? I think he'll have some really hard decisions. I think that he'll withdraw in the first 4 years or so. I think that'll pull back, figure out alternative means rather than this kind of we must have victory at any cost. I've heard that. I heard that during the Vietnam War. It took Nixon how many decades to, seemed like a long time. All my brothers were potentially in the draft. All of my uncles on both of my parents' side served in World War II. So it's not, I think just last thing, I mean, I should go away, because the thing I most despise about what's happened in the last few years is people claiming that somebody else is not patriotic because they believe in a different aspect. They believe something different, and they're said this person's a terrorist because he might have talked to somebody who may have been interested in overthrow of the government in some way. This person's a socialist because he wants to share. This person, come on. I just think that's completely wrong.
Well, before I go, I just want to ask you, this story is important to everyone as an American. Is there anything that you're passionate about that I might not have asked you?
Passionate about that I might not have asked you. More music. There should be more music. There should be more funding for education. There should be more funding for the arts. We have plenty of money. We should put it in the right place. We should invest in our children. We should invest in teaching people what they can be and what they can know, and spend less on destroying other parts of the world. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Will. I'm Ryan Wolowski at Grants Memorial in front of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C.